Uganda.
The Johnny Program on UBC TV.
I salute you, my dear viewers. My name is Rosemary Nansubuga Seninde. I'm the director in charge of mobilization at the NRM Secretariat. In other words, I work with the NRM party as the national mobilizer. I want to take this opportunity to take you through my journey. I was born in Mulago. I'm a city born. I went through primary school. I went through Catholic schools in Nagalama Boarding Primary School, St. Agnes. That's where I did my primary. Then I joined St. Joseph's in Zambia. I went to Trinity College in Abingo for my HSC. I went through Makerere University Business School for my first degree. I did my master's at Makerere University, and now I'm doing my PhD at Uganda Management Institute. I got married to Mr. Chizazefania Seninde, but I joined politics at a young age because when I got married in 1985, I joined as a district councillor in 1994 when I joined as a district councillor representing Nangaba sub-county at MPG when Wakiso was still together with MPG. Of course, I've been working as a leader through my time. Even during my school time, I was a leader. I was a prefect. I was a head prefect where I did my teacher education in Lady Irene College. I have been a leader throughout my life, and I have enjoyed being a leader because I know it has been my calling. In 2001, I was still a student in Chambogo where I did my diploma in teacher education. That is the time when Wakiso was split from MPG. So I joined as an MP. I contested for the women's seat, and I managed to succeed. So I've been in Parliament for 20 years. Then in 2016, His Excellency the President nominated me or appointed me to be a minister in charge of primary education. With my background as a teacher, I think it was a good thing that I was given a chance to serve my country as a minister in charge of primary education. First of all, I want to thank the people of Wakiso District for having given me the chance to serve as a member of parliament. The time I served as a member of parliament, I did quite a lot. I remember in my first term, there is quite a lot I did. And I did physical things, like I helped in the construction of Lube Primary School. I helped my community in constructing health center too in Banda. I did quite a lot of things. In my second term, my concentration was on helping my people through the land issues, because Wakiso is one of the districts that have suffered so much with land evictions, land conflicts. So I got involved so much in land issues, and I helped quite a lot of people. I engaged with a team of lawyers who helped me to provide free services, legal services to my people, and a lot was done. In my third term, I also did a lot. I did quite a lot in skilling, in training, and helping my people, empowering them. And even in my fourth term, I continued doing the same. So I want to thank God that the time I was served as a member of parliament, I added a lot of value to my people in terms of empowering them, in terms of guiding them, in terms of skilling them, and enabling them to start their own businesses. I organized people in groups. I guided them, and I helped those groups to get support. And I'm very proud of that, because when I go back and see and reflect on what my people benefited out of during my term, I realize a lot was achieved. And to me, that is a legacy that I'm very proud of. And as a minister in charge of primary education, of course, I want to thank God when the president gave me that opportunity to serve with Mama Janet Kataha Museveni as her deputy or as a minister in charge of primary education. We achieved quite a lot with her mentorship. We managed to do many things. Many primary schools were constructed under the Youth SEP project, of course, with our supervision. We managed to come up with a number of policies, among which we have the teacher policy, the early childhood policy. So we succeeded in quite a lot. We did quite a lot. And what is so exciting is that during my time, I came up with a number of initiatives. One of them was the Busoga Education Initiative. When I was a minister, I used to ask myself questions. Why the Eastern region was performing so poorly, and more so Busoga sub-region was always performing so poorly in the UPE results. I mean, in the PLE results. So at the end of the day, I realized that we had to do something. So I managed to bring together all the leaders and the big people in Busoga, the prominent people. Then I put them to task to see why PLE is always poorly done in the Busoga sub-region. So we managed to come up with an initiative called Busoga Education Initiative. And this has helped a lot. I want to assure you that Busoga no longer performs poorly because they have managed to get quite... Those schools that used to always be the last have now come up. They are doing so well. And at the end of it all, they have managed to get scholarships for most of the children that pass PLE with the first grade or with the Division 1. So they give them scholarships. And I think this has also improved greatly the education of our children in Busoga. And to me, of course, that gives me pride. But we also initiated a primary teachers conference, which was done annually. Unfortunately, during the time of COVID, we didn't hold that. And that's when I wasn't a minister anymore. But before that, at least for the previous 2 years, we used to hold the primary teachers conference. And this conference used to bring teachers together, helping teachers to, we were training them, guiding them, and also choosing the best teachers in the country. And I remember the last one we held, we managed to choose the best 50 teachers at the national level, the 3 overall best teachers. They were given titles of land. They were taken to Israel to benchmark on how education is done at primary level. And many of our teachers who performed so well during that time were given opportunities of promotions in their districts. And I believe if we had continued with this, we would be far at that level. Because, I realize that primary teachers, in most cases, they tend to feel that they are not given that clout. They tend to think that they are not recognized. Their efforts are not recognized. And it's the reason we came up with that initiative with my team. So I want to thank Mama for having given me the chance to work with her well. And of course, the president who gave me the opportunity to work well. And I believe the contributions we made in the Ministry of Education will never be forgotten. I want to thank His Excellency the President, because when we didn't make it in the last elections, in 2021 elections, of course he recognized my contributions towards the NRM party. He gave me a chance to serve my party, and he made me the director in charge of mobilization. Of course, I've tried my work. I've tried to do my part. I've added a brick to the development of my party as the director in charge of mobilization. My work is to not only mobilize people to sing Oye, NRM Oye, no. My work is to ensure that our people get involved in the NRM programs, the programs that have been set up by the NRM party. I know we have quite a number of programs. For instance, we have the Myoga, we have the flagship programs like the PDM. We need to mobilize our people to get involved into these programs, because the importance of our relevance, or what makes us relevant, is to make our people appreciate what the NRM party is doing for them. You know, that's what makes me relevant as the director in charge of mobilization. So once people get to appreciate the contributions of my party, that is when they'll be able to appreciate the party and appreciate my president, who is the chairman of my party and the head of state. And in other words, when we call upon them to vote for NRM, they will be able to vote for NRM because they have appreciated, they have recognized the contributions of the government. So my work is basically to do that, but also to bring out the voice of my party to ensure that our people recognize our pillars of patriotism, of democracy, of Pan-Africanism, of, socio-economic transformation. So that is where we need to ensure that our people also understand our ideology as a party. So as a director, those are the things that I need to concentrate on, that we have always concentrated on, mobilizing our leaders in the various communities or in the communities to help our people understand the contributions of my party. I don't agree with the feeling of Ugandans that NRM braves people. NRM has given the people of Uganda an opportunity to choose their own leaders. And that is the reason recently we have just celebrated His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's legacy and achievements. One of them is the democracy and good governance, which enables people to choose their own leaders. So if people are given a chance to choose their own leaders, it is up to the people or up to the leaders to present their manifestos or to present to the people what they intend to do. And at the end of the day, it is the people to choose. Once they get to appreciate what we explain to them and they choose, that doesn't mean that they have been bribed. Because my question has always been, when NRM wins, opposition says there has been bribery. When opposition wins, it does not complain of anything. So what is the problem? That is where we need to understand that NRM has given Ugandans a chance to choose their leaders. It's not about bribing them. It's about convincing them. Yes, I do appreciate that we have that challenge. Actually, it is a big challenge, where NRM people fighting each other. It is a challenge. But I must say this is not new. It is common everywhere. Because even in families, you have those conflicts. It is upon how you handle them, how you resolve them, how you talk and unite the people, what matters. Of course, as a party, we have tried to always engage our people through our leaders, trying to talk to them and reminding them that NRM is a mass party and is a family. So intrigue and infighting will never help us. And by the way, it is one way that has actually disserviced our party, where you find NRM leaders or NRM supporters fighting each other, and we give room to the opposition to go through. But now that people are beginning to realize that, maybe 2026 will be a different case. That is my belief, because 2021 had a lot of infighting. There was a lot of infighting. That's why many of our NRM leaders lost. Maybe when we add on the opposition wave, we had a challenge. But this time round, I believe NRM members and supporters have been able to realize where our mistakes were and where sometimes we make mistakes, and maybe that will be resolved. I think the president has done more than enough. He has given us a chance as women. He has given us a chance to sit together with our male counterparts to discuss and take decisions at different levels. So I think he has done it well. That is why even other countries come to Uganda to benchmark on women emancipation. The president has done a lot. It is now upon us as women leaders to ensure that we don't let him down, to ensure that we are good examples, and to ensure that we do what is expected of us in terms of ensuring that we fight corruption, we don't indulge or get involved in corruption, to ensure that we do our work diligently and committedly. And with that, I believe we shall be able to give good examples to the young ones who will come into our footsteps, and to also probably not to shame the president who gave us this chance. 2026 is not far. As the director in charge of mobilization, I must say that President Museveni is my candidate, is our candidate. I've not heard of any other person who wants to stand against him for the primary election, but of course he's our candidate. We know he's the one who can score for the NRM party. So we still have him as our candidate, and we are going to support him, we are going to solicit for support, and we are going to make sure we mobilize to ensure that President Museveni wins the 2026 election. I must say we have so many pressure groups in the country, and many of them are supporting the NRM party. PLU, as far as I'm concerned, is not a party. As far as I'm concerned, I look at PLU as one of the pressure groups that we have been talking about, all that I have just mentioned. So if PLU as a pressure group has no problem with NRM and is supporting NRM, I have no problem with it, because I must be very clear. Any pressure group that adds a brick to the development of my party, to the development of NRM, and supports President Museveni, definitely I will work with it. So if PLU is supporting President Museveni and is supporting the NRM party as such, because it is a pressure group, we have known and I know it's not a party, so why not? I'm ready to work with anyone who adds a brick to the development of my party. Of course, I want to thank God that people are beginning to realize the contributions of the NRM party. And it is the reason many people are now coming back to NRM. They are turning from NOP, from FDC, and joining the NRM because they have realized. And by the way, we have been able to implement our manifesto. We are now getting into our 4th year, and quite a lot has been done as far as our manifesto is concerned. And of course, I know many of Ugandans have realized that probably they were making a mistake supporting other parties. That is the reason why you are seeing many coming back to support the NRM party. And of course, to us is a credit. To us, it is a clear indication that the NRM party has, and the NRM government has been able to do its work well. I cannot say we have failed on corruption. By the way, my fellow Ugandans, corruption is not a one-man's fight. President Museveni has come out very clearly to wage a war against corruption. But I want to say that he cannot succeed alone. We have to support him. It must be all of us to support the president to fight corruption. Because the person who takes corruption, the person who supports it, the person who sees it and does not report it, we are all corrupt. So at the end of the day, if we don't join him in this struggle, then we may lose the fight. I want to tell you, my brother, that, my fellow Ugandans who are watching me, that in the lower levels, because we know we have decentralization, at the districts, at the level 3, at the sub-county level, or at the municipalities, particularly in some of the areas where opposition took leadership, we have seen corruption in those local levels. It has not been the NRM people there. So which means it's not corruption by the NRM people alone. Even the opposition have been involved in corruption. We have seen this in the media. So all in all, whether one is an NRM or whether one is opposition, what matters is corruption is bad. We all have to come out and fight corruption, condemn corruption, and ensure that we don't get involved in supporting the people who are corrupt. This business of saying people are our children, somebody is corrupt, and then we all come out to say this is our child, please release him, then we are not helping the country. Because at the end of the day, it is you, the voter, who pays these taxes. And if this money is eaten by the corrupt, you and I are losers. So at the end of the day, we all have to come out and fight and condemn the corruption tendencies. Now the president is cracking down on corrupt people. So can we all come out and support him? Can we all come out if there are cases we know and we report them? You know, sometimes I have also learned that there are people who have been freed because there is no evidence. People who have the evidences hide. They don't bring them out. So at the end of the day, what do you expect the courts to do? They have to free those people. As the government, there could be some mistakes somewhere, because one would ask, if NEMA is in place, how come people build massively in those wetlands and nobody touches them, and then at the end of the day we come to demolish them or to say they are wrong? I don't support people who go into the wetland, because it has been made very clear that we must protect our environment. And if we have to protect our environment, there is no reason why we encroach on the swampy areas, on the swamps, on the wetlands. But of course, I know the mistakes are with us human beings, us, the people in offices. Because you wonder the people who approve the plans of those people who build in the wetlands. You wonder, where are the people who give, who are the people who give the titles? Who are the people who approve these titles? Who are the people who approve these plans? Who are the people who even extend electricity into those wetlands for those people to get power? Extension of water in a wetland to supply those houses. So the question is big, and the answers are few. I think we now need to all rise up and help and support our government in the fight against people encroaching on our environment or affecting the environment, encroaching on the wetlands. Because at the end of the day, it destroys our environment. I want to appeal to my fellow Ugandans. The laws are there. Ignorance of the law does not exonerate you. So these are some of the things that we need to understand. But at the end of the day, it comes back to us as leaders. Have we done our part? Have we tried to sensitize our people on these do's and the don'ts? Have we tried to do that? Have we supported government on the fight against corruption? Because the people who provide the titles in the wetlands, the people who approve the plans, maybe are involved in corruption. Have we tried to check that? Have we, as Ugandans, as voters, as taxpayers, put our leaders to task to do accountability? Both physical and paper accountability. Riots and demonstrations don't help. I don't think they help. We have leaders. Let's try to talk through our leaders, to raise our voices in parliament, to raise our voices. If your leaders are not helping, I think there are better channels. But rioting and causing, because when you go for riots, at the end of the day, you also affect that woman who has gone to sell her tomatoes, to fend for her children. You have not actually looked at her or seen how you're going to affect her. But because you want to, to exercise your rights, you have not seen how you're affecting the rights of another. I think that's where we go wrong, especially when we get involved into riots. So I want to call upon us leaders and us parents to do our part. Let's nurture our children, guide them well, because it takes a child to be nurtured well, to behave well, grow up well, and be a useful youth to his country. 2026 is coming, yes. One may say it's not far. Everyone would want to hear my voice to know whether I'm standing or not. But I think it's still too early for me to say yes or no. I'm still doing my work and supporting my president, who gave me the responsibility to serve the NRM party. When that time comes, I'll be able to say what is right at the right time. First of all, I want to thank my husband, Mr. Chizaseninde, and my family, because I want to say that all that I have done and my journey as a politician, as a leader, as a student, because I've said I'm a student, PhD student, I want to say sometimes it may not be easy to balance family, to balance school, politics, work, farming, because I'm a farmer. It may not be so easy. But when you have a supportive family, you have a supportive husband, sometimes you are helped to balance the equation. So I must thank my husband. Mr. Seninde has been very supportive, not only in our family work, not only in my farming work, not only in giving me moral support as a student, but even in our home. Most of the things we do together, and at the end of the day, he does not put a lot of burden on me. So at the end of it all, I can be able to balance it. So I want to call upon my fellow women. We must not forget that when you have a family, you must not forget that when all the other things are done, particularly women leaders, yes, I want to call upon my fellow women leaders, that when all the other things are done and everything is gone, you still remain with your family. So holding your family together and working with your family, supporting your family is very key, very vital. Once you do that and you put your trust in God, because I want to tell you, my dear friends, that all the things that I've done, everything that I have achieved in my journey as Nansubuga Rosemary Seninde, is not because I'm a very strong woman, it's not because I know it all, but I believe it's because I have given all my trust and my confidence in my God. So I want to take this opportunity to thank the Almighty God for standing with me, for His wisdom, because God has given me wisdom. God has always guided me and has helped me and, shielded me against my enemies. Of course, I want to thank my dear husband. I want Mr. Chizaseninde. I want to thank my family for standing with me throughout my journey. I want to thank my supporters, my voters, all the people I work with, all the people I have worked with. I cannot fail to thank His Excellency the President, who has given me all these opportunities. Because when he made me a minister, he gave me an opportunity. I want to thank Mama Janety for having worked with me and mentoring me. I cannot fail to thank His Excellency again for giving me a chance to work as a director, because after losing as a member of parliament, maybe I would not be heard anymore, like others have not been heard. But at least he still put me in the limelight. So I cannot fail to thank His Excellency the President. He has helped me, he has guided me, he has given me a chance. I cannot fail to thank the people of NRM with whom I have worked, my staff in my office that I have strongly worked with. But now I cannot also fail to thank the team that I worked with when we were organizing a big celebration which we held on the 5th of July, celebrating the President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's achievements and legacy. I cannot fail to thank UBC, which is inspiring Uganda, for the great work they have done, for even showing this program, but also educating the country and inspiring the country. I remember on the 5th of July, UBC was covering the function live. So I want to thank UBC so much indeed for the work well done. And may God bless you.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko.
Yo.
Wachikuwa. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish Development Model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko.